Romance is a crucial and fundamental part to BioWare's RPGs, and we kind of know that it's going to be quite important in Mass Effect Andromeda. Hi, this is Rima from ME Odyssey, and today I'm going to be sharing my informal opinions about what I want in Mass Effect Andromeda in regards to romance. Now, this is going to be a very informal kind of video with no scripted points. It's just going to be me chatting to yourselves about what I'd like to see in the new game. One of the main points I'd like to see is more overreaching arcs with romances. Now, Liara is one of the best romances in the trilogy, and she's only one of the romances that kind of goes from Mass Effect 1 to 3, with her actually touching base with you in Mass Effect 2 as part of the DLC. Now, this is probably quite crucial to her storyline. You get to kind of see her grow throughout the 3 games. Now, Kate and Ashley, even though you can romance them in Mass Effect 1, you have this very disjointed conversation with them in Mass Effect 2 where they accuse you of siding with Cerberus and kind of breaking your allegiance, and you kind of have no control about how they react. You kind of don't have any control about how you can react to it. And it kind of seems to break up that relationship quite abruptly. And it's quite important for Mass Effect 3 for them to come in quite suspicious of you, but still, it just feels a bit disjointed. Tali and Garrus are probably the 2 best romances in the entire trilogy, and you don't get to romance them in Mass Effect 1, and that's not a bad thing, that they are just your buddies, your friends in the first game, but a romance that can kind of go through consistently throughout the full 3 games would have been quite important to your character and to, I guess, yourself. You get to know these characters a little bit more. So I'd love to see romances in this new game to kind of span over the trilogy or a series of games, whatever BioWare's got planned for the new trilogy, to kind of have more of a storyline that's kind of going throughout the series rather than just kind of being a bit disjointed. Morality seems to be quite important in Mass Effect in general, but it seems to be taken differently in Mass Effect Andromeda. So apparently they're planning to move away from the whole black and white to more elements of grey, where your choices are going to be a bit more muddied. So it'd be nice to see companions and love interests being affected by your choices, much like it was in Dragon Age Inquisition, KOTOR, and even Fallout.
Sitting in a dark corner, drinking.
Yes! What of it?
It's pathetic.
You! I have watched you, even exalted you as you straddled the world. And I'm the one who raised you up.
I don't think it should be solely tied to your choices. I don't think you should have to do specific things to woo characters, but I'd like to see characters actually being affected by them. That they have their own personal judgments and their own kind of morality, that they might be kind of affected by different things. Just making them better, well-rounded characters in a whole. Now in Mass Effect 3, it started to show more diverse relationships, from same-sex relationships to different pairings like EDI and Joker. But that was at the end of the trilogy. It wasn't anywhere near the start of the game. So I think in terms of Mass Effect Andromeda, it would be nice to see more of that. And also in terms of your partner, I'd like to see more away from just the Turians and Quarians and the humans and the Asari. That's great. There's a lot of like diversity there anyway, but how about we get some Krogans or Solarians, or even aliens that we haven't even encountered yet in the Mass Effect Andromeda kind of universe? One of the best relationships in Mass Effect 3 has to be the relationship between Tali and Garrus, and it's a relationship that you don't really affect. When I played it, it kind of blindsided me because I never expected it, and when I kind of revealed their relationship, I was like, what? But it was a small tidbit. It was very small and very endearing, and I'd love to see more of that. I'd love to see characters having relationships and love lives outside of the main character. More of just complex relationships, good and bad, between each other. Ones like Tali and Garrus, more like Jack and Miranda, more like that, where you get to see them being not just side characters to you, but characters on their own that have their own story arcs that are brilliant and complex, that they have personalities.
I'm really happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks, Shepard.
Appreciate it. Guess it helps to have something to come back to.
What do you mean to come back to? This is just a fling, Bakarian. I'm using you for your body.
You're so mean. And I'm okay with that.
Now, it's great when you find a character you love that's consistent and dependable, but sometimes it can be a little bit boring. I don't think any of the Mass Effect romances are boring, but I personally never romanced Jacob just because I thought his character's storyline was a bit dull. But he's still a great character, it's just he was a bit too safe for me. And I'd love to see characters that represent kind of a more full-scale morality, that kind of take extremes. Characters that kind of disagree with you and push you, that don't always agree with what you say, even to some extremes. Now, in Mass Effect, you do get characters like that, like Morinth, who kind of are locked out if you don't go kind of more renegade, and even characters like Jack, who tend to be more hard and more aggressive, but kind of soften to you. It'd be nice to see characters that are full out are just kind of complete opposites to you. Lastly, what I'd like to see is more of what we got to see in Mass Effect 3, more of personal moments with characters outside of the ship, outside of the missions. I guess in Mass Effect 3 you got to kind of go on these like personal little adventures with characters, like going with Garrus to the top of the Citadel. And in Citadel DLC, I know it's a unique situation because it was DLC, but it was nice seeing characters outside the kind of realm of, you know, fighting or in storyline, but more personal moments. It'd be nice to see a lot more of that, but it's understandable that the story obviously has to be kind of concise, that they might not be able to fit that in, but those moments were quite endearing to me. Also, banter is important. Mass Effect really hasn't had banter that's kind of been like impromptu, kind of like, it's normally triggered by kind of the situation or the storyline. So it'd be nice to see the banter system kind of being brought in, and we know the devs have been talking about banter a lot, so hopefully we will get more of that. So those have been my informal thoughts or ramblings about romances in Mass Effect Andromeda. They are just purely my opinions, and I think I'm fairly being optimistic by a lot of them. I don't think a lot of them will probably make it to the game, but it's nice to dream. So let me know what you'd want for romances in the new game, and let me know what you thought about this video, about this style of kind of conversation and less of a scripted video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and please share this video to help it grow. And thank you for listening to me today, and we will look forward to seeing you next time.